Hey guys, this is April from Big Blue Dog Soaps, and today we're going to do something a little different. I've noticed, been doing a little bit of research, and anyone that sells products online like Etsy or Indie Made or Big Cartel, I've noticed that the people that get the most sales, they have really bright, vibrant, super good photography. All their pictures are wonderful. 9 times out of 10, a photographer will tell you that natural lighting is the best lighting, and I completely agree. However, not all of us have a good natural light source. Obviously, in this room, I don't know if you can see, but I have a little studio, have set up there by the window, and it's great, but, not always have time to get the exact lighting time of day, to grab the best moment for the best lighting. So it's more convenience. I've watched quite a few YouTube videos, and I've grabbed bits and pieces here and there, kind of going to make it my own. And it's really super simple and basically costs nothing. Most of us have everything on hand to make a good light box. And a light box basically is just a compartment with the light sources around it that just magnify and filter artificial light in order to enhance the photo and make it really stand out. And with the right kind of lighting, a simple camera can make excellent photos. And it's just something I'm trying to do to step up my game and get a few more sales, get more noticed. So, and basically it's only, let's see, I have, what does every soaper have? Every soaper has market paper, or, what do they call it? Meat wrapping paper, The only thing is, it needs to be translucent enough to where light will filter through it. That's the whole premise of having a filter. Okay, so I've got 3 sheets of this for 3 sides. You're going to do your left and right side and the top. So you're going to have 3 light sources all on the same product, because that's going to give you the absolute best lighting possible. And all 3 sides are going to be filtered, so the lighting won't be harsh. I've got a really, really cheap X-Acto knife, or box cutter, whatever you want to call it. And tape. We all have tape where we send our packages. It doesn't even have to be pretty tape. It can be duct tape. I mean, if it's what you got, it's what you got. And you need a box. Few things to note about the box. The box has got to be tall enough to where you don't want any of the sides showing when you take your pictures. So really, any product can be used in this, as long as you've got enough space around the sides to where your camera's not going to catch the sides of the box itself. I mean, you're going to crop and you're going to do a little bit of minor photoshopping to enhance the photos. And the small things you can crop out, no problem. But as a general rule, you don't want anything sticking to the sides or noticeable on the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut out 3 sides. I'm going to leave the bottom completely solid. Actually, I think I'm going to use this part as the bottom. Well, I guess it really matters. But anyway, figure out which side you want to use and keep one side solid. So I'm going to fast forward through all this part because it's incredibly boring. Basically, I'm going to cut out 3 holes with just enough frame to hold it together and not collapse the box, but enough opening and window, quote unquote, where you can put enough for the light sources to really filter in and give a good solid light. So I'm gonna just go ahead and go just get to town. Just showing you how I'm doing this last piece to kind of give you an idea. It's not brain surgery. You don't even have to cut it straight. It just has to be covered. A lot of us aren't crafty girls other than making soap or what have you. You just trace around. Just making sure you don't get in the parts that, you know, are supposed to be the window. So I'm just going to trace around here. Where my window is. I mean, obsessive compulsive people can use rulers if they want to. I don't have the patience. Sorry about it. Okay, and we're just going to reinforce that with our tape. I do recommend using a really strong tape, like a packing tape or even a duct tape, like I said. I don't think Scotch tape's going to cut it. It might work temporarily, but I just wanted to be able to use everything I needed with stuff I had on hand. And I figured most of us soapy girls, soapy geek guys, all had packing tape and soap liner paper. Like I said, the only premise is it's got to be transparent. It's got to be transparent enough for the light to come through. that's most of the hard work done. Now what I'm going to do with the inside, I mean, see how the filter's in 3 sides? Ideally, you'll have a light source on each side and one on the top. But that's completely up to you. You know, experiment, see what kind of light works for you. If you want to be super fancy, you can get tungsten lights. They're supposed to replicate natural light and all that stuff. I personally don't have that kind of money. I'm just going to use good old light bulbs and probably a couple of lamps. That's what the filter's for, to make it look nice and muted and natural. That's the whole premise of having filters. So, they do recommend keeping the side flaps. And because when the light source is hitting from the sides, the overflow light will come from the front, from the sides back into the front. So that's going to cast shadows from your camera when the light from the sides hits the camera. So having these as more or less blinders is going to keep the light sources where they need to be. So, also the pieces that you cut out. You know, sometimes accidents happen. You know, you can use these interchangeably, put them in the bottom. Or what you can do is, you know, put, another project I didn't have on camera, but you can wrap aluminum foil on pieces of cardboard, and that will give you a reflective light source. So if you're not getting exactly the kind of light that you need, you can have it bounce off of the reflector and bounce back onto the product itself, and that'll also make it look nice. That can give you some front angles that aren't too harsh. So now we're going to do, if you wanted to get super fancy, also you could add, if you've got the foam board, you can use it to kind of give yourself a backdrop. But what I'm going to do, and I've seen other people do it, is I'm going to find, probably just use some more market paper so I can, you know, use it, dispose of it, you know, get some nice clean when it gets dirty, and, you know, so I can change it over and over. Yeah, I'm just going to tape it up there, and I think it'll do just fine. So, if you want it to keep the top flap, you can. A lot of photographers use it to put on top of the camera so you can get a good focus on what you're doing and not have all the outside distractions when you can see it just one-on-one, the product and nothing else. You know, those old-timey blankets they use to cover up with, same principle. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna hook this bad boy up and see how it works and see if it makes a difference. But definitely use the market paper for your backdrop and for the bottom. You just take a long sheet. Well, this is kind of like entirely too small, but I'm going to show you. You'll just tape it up to the top here. Can you see? Well, I'll pull it up for you. You'll just take some more of that fabulous tape you've used this whole time, tape it up to the top, and then have it naturally flow down. Do you see what I mean? You just have it just like a, oh, there's a fancy term for it. Basically, it's the backdrop. So you'll just have it coming down and flowing. I would make it long enough to where it comes out to the opening. That way you don't have any more cropping to do than you absolutely have to. So, but there you have it. Super, super cheap.